project, we're going to be working on a pink boo. Not so scary, this boo. I do literally mean boo though. I have paper mache letters, a B, and 2 O's that we're going to be working with. Now I'm designing it for a centerpiece down a party table, but this could also be used on your kitchen counter, on a sideboard as a home decor item for all those pink lovers out there. Okay, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our letters and we're going to take an X-Acto or craft knife and we're going to slice out the top of the letters. Now, here we go, and I'm going to show you that a little bit closer. Face the letter upwards, and then we're going to use our craft blade and cut right round the internal and external edges of the letter, making sure we cut right through to the hollow centre. Slice the top of our letter, and you can see there's some internal cardboard inside the letter. We're going to pop that out as well. Don't worry about the edges being, if they're a little bit messy, you can always slice them off afterwards, but we're going to use a filler in there, so you're not even going to see it. So let's start on the next two. Here we go. Don't you wish it was this quick to do in real life? Look at how fast I am. Wow! Once we have our 3 boo letters ready to go, we're going to fill them with big gap filler. So this is just like a foam that we're going to spray inside here. Now, some tips for handling this. It's pretty sticky, number one. I recommend doing this outside so you're well ventilated and following all the safety instructions on here. Use gloves so that if it gets on your skin, you're not getting a reaction. You can, if you do get it on you or on the table, you can clean it off with a bit of acetone, so nail polish. And one thing to bear in mind is when we're spraying this in the letter, it is going to expand. Okay, so you're filling it not quite to the top because that is going to rise. So let's take a closer look at me doing that. Little tip, this filler can be used as a replacement for floral foam when you're doing arrangements. While your foam is still wet, that's when we're going to take little mini skulls, and I've got hands and bones, and these are all from you get packs of these from the Dollar Tree, so they're very affordable. And we're going to choose places to put these in, and we're going to push them a little way in. Okay, and same with bones. We're just going to push those so they're stuck in there. We can put hands in so that the hands are reaching over the bee like that. Let's get a little bit closer so you can see that. When you push them in, make sure you leave half of them sticking out to allow for expansion. One thing I like to do as it's expanding is keep checking in on it, and if it's getting a little too puffy and big, I squeeze it in a little bit just to keep it in the shape of a bee. Let me show you how I do that. Don't forget gloves for this bit. This is a little drier. I'm actually going to put foam around the outside edges. Careful not to put foam here on the bottom because that's where we're actually going to glue it to something. But I'm going to put a little bit of foam around the edges so that I can make the edges look a little bit rough, just like the inside. So let's take a closer look at that too. This step is totally optional. You can keep the sides clear if you prefer that look. So now we have our completed letters. They've been left to dry overnight and they've really hardened. And you can see how much they expanded even after I did a little bit of a push in. Now, the great thing about this foam is you can take your X-Acto knife and you can cut out pieces. So for example, I'm not happy that this hole is so small compared to the other one. So I can use my X-Acto knife and take a chunk of foam out of the middle and really open that hole up a little bit. I can also use it or a knife and slice off bits from the top. There, so that it doesn't stick out so much. So it's really flexible. You can slice it, you can sand it, treat it like polystyrene foam. It's really moldable and get the shape that you want. Okay, the sanding works if you want really smooth edges. Let's turn these beauties into pink beauties. Follow me outside. I used 2 coats of Rust-Oleum Candy Pink for this step. While we have been making our beautiful balloon arch, these little beauties have been drying outside, and so I now have a beautiful pink boo with skulls and bones included and a nice spooky gooey shape, and we are going to glue them to a board. Now I picked up this just plain black board. I think it's originally a sign, so I'm going to use this as my base. I got this for $5 at Target. You could also pick up a piece of plywood or just normal sign wood from one of the many hardware stores, or grab one from Hobby Lobby or wherever you craft shopping you are going, and grab a rectangular board that's large enough to fit and paint it up black. The other alternative is you could go to Dollar Tree and get like a black serving tray, whatever floats your boat. And what we're going to do is we are going to line those up, and we are going to glue them down the middle, a little bit front from middle, so that we can put some floral foam at the back and add items to our centerpiece. Now remember, I said to you, do not put, if you were going for the look that I went for, which is putting additional foam around the outside, you may not have, you may have left the sides clean and with untouched by foam. Either way, the bottom should be untouched by foam, and that is the bit that we're going to sit and glue on there. Okay, so handy dandy glue gun, and oh, out pops my glue gun. Do you know this always happens when I'm filming? Like, you by yourself, never happens. Always happens when you're filming, especially on lives. Okay, you did not see that. I might have to edit that out. Okay, and then I would normally use an E600 or some sort of glue like that, but we are going to go with this in the interest of quick time. The other thing I've got here too, I don't know if you've ever seen those heat pads that they have in the Target dollar spot. They sell them for you know, hair products like straighteners and stuff that you can put them down, but I actually use them for my glue gun, and they are awesome. They're like $3, and you can just put that on and protect your surfaces. Love it. So I highly recommend getting one of those as well. Oh my gosh, you really don't want to go today. Okay, and we are getting our boo on. Okay, there we go, and let's let those dry a little. Here we go. Now it's time to have a little bit of fun with these. Now we have some floral foam, little pieces of floral foam, a couple of those. Woo. And we're going to glue those just behind the letters. You can see me gluing it here. Okay, there's one. So we have our floral foam here. I'm going to use some black creepy cloth and tuck that under the bottom and layer that around, a little bit around the front. We can play around with that as we add things. So I like having it draping a little bit around the front and gently over that green foam so you don't see it. You can always tuck these little bits and hold them in place with a bit of glue too. There you go. It's
It's going to stay there now. Okay, this is where we're going to add some florals, black florals. So I have some black eucalyptus, some black ferns, and some black roses, of course. And we are going to take these, and we have our foam here, and we are going to start adding that to our foam. Let's start with eucalyptus. That's going, and that's that way. And I'm just using pliers to clip pieces off of my ferns so I can get those. I continued to layer the black floral stems across the entire base here, and I gave them an outward lean so they look as if they're coming from the inside and spreading out or growing outwards. Now we've really got a complete and full look. I'm going to add a few more roses in there. And I have these little roses that I found at Dollar Store that have got little skulls inside them. So we're going to add those. The next bed is disco balls. Yep, you heard me, disco. Because, you know, at Halloween I think we need a little bit of disco. So I'm going to add a couple of different size disco balls in here as well. And play around with it a bit. It is never first time. I originally thought the white would go, but I think we need that pop of pink. Okay, so we're going to go with this guide. I'm just going to, this is a Michael's pick that I found. You can find some of these in the Target dollar store spot as well at the moment. And we're going to take out that, because what we're going to do is glue that in here like that, because then we're going to have a centerpiece that looks great from both sides. Okay, so let's glue that. Now we have this side complete. We are going to finish the front. Just double check and make sure we've got no stalks coming through. We have not. We've got a nice overflow of black. Let me just get rid of all those bits of glue. Okay, and we have a nice overflow of black around our boo, and we're going to add things like this, like a beautiful skeleton hand with some roses. We're going to add a couple more roses, one here and one here, and then I've got these cute little black and white pumpkins that look great there. And then I think we're going to put a couple of little black spiders on top of the boo. The black glittered spiders. These come on these little clips from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take that off, and we're just going to press it into the foam like that. That's all you need to do. And same with, I have a little garland with some black roses that we're going to stick in here too. And we're just going to add some black roses. We may need a bit of glue for some of them if they don't have a sharp point. There we go. And just bring, the reason we're doing this is to just bring some of the black through into the front pink and keep that consistency there. Let's see. Let's go with here, I think. Right next to the hand. Boo. And a couple of little black leaves in here, so they're poking out as well. A little bit more consistent. And I think the final touch, this little hugs and hisses pink pumpkin. And there you have it, our Boo centerpiece. It's 360 degrees. So we have this at the back of the table, or even if you have this on your sideboard, it still looks pretty. And then we have this side, okay? It's perfect for the dinner table
It makes a great impact as you're coming in. Boo!
And here's a quick close-up and a view from the top so you can see all the details in those letters, all the bones sticking out in skulls. Don't they look amazing? If you love this pink vibe, be sure to join my demo where I'm going to show you how to make a pink balloon garland. You'll also find me hosting a party demo and a business demo if you want to know a little bit more about how to do this content for TikTok and other social media channels.